Yes, I hope you're good from your end. Today, we have delved into introduction to grade 10 biology. Now, your science teacher is always your science teacher, and you know that biology is part of science. Remember, in junior school, you are taught about integrated science, and you learned about the three basic aspects of integrated science. That is biology as one of them, chemistry as the second, and lastly, physics as the third. So these are the three main basic fundamental aspects of science, or the subdisciplines, or the three components of science. I hope you are taught about that, the three basic components of science. That was in grade 9, junior school. Now you have graduated to grade 10, and thank you for choosing biology as your pure science subject. Thank you for that. Welcome to grade 10, where we are going to enjoy biology. Remember, biology is part of your body. Biology is part of the environment you exist in. Biology is also part of the plants around you. How wonderful is biology? We're going to discuss about biology, the meaning of biology. We are going to talk about what the cell is. You can see the topic of today is cell biology and biodiversity. Bio, I'm going to tell you the meaning. Diversity, I'm also going to explain the meaning. And as well, I'm going to talk about the cell. What's the meaning of the cell? Stay tuned. Enjoy this class. Now let's begin with what the term biology means. The term biology. The term biology. Now, introduction to grade 10 biology. The topic 1 is cell biology. And what? Biodiversity. So what do we know, or what do you know when you hear the term biology? What do you know about it? What do the term biology means? Now, back then, there were some Greeks. We call them Greeks. These gentlemen, of course, they were gentlemen. I don't know whether there were some ladies there, I don't know. But I believe there were some gentlemen doing some experiments and realized that there are some other living things that has life. And can we study them? Can we know more about them? And therefore, they became up with two terms. Now, the word biology is divided into two. The first one is bios. The second one is logos. Now, in Greek, bios and logos are the two words this gentleman came up with and said, bios means life. That is the meaning of bios. How about logos? So logos means the study of, or knowledge of. Are you getting the sense? So these people were doing some experiment here and there, and they realized, oh, we have something that has a life. And we can study them. This thing that has life must be called logos. Must be called bios. So bio means life, or bios. Bio or bios means life. And logos, from the word logi, means the study of or knowledge of. Therefore, biology means the study of living things. Therefore, biology means the study of living things. Therefore, biology means this, the study, the branch of science, that deals with the study of living organisms. The study of living organisms. That is what the meaning of biology is. So biology, it is the branch of science that deals with the study of living organisms. In this case, bios means life. So those living organisms are living things, things with life. Any organism, be it animal, be it plant, they have life. Logos means the study of. So we are studying living things. We are studying things with life. That is what biology means. See how interesting it is. So we are going to study things that only have a life. That is what biology means. So it is the knowledge of things with life, living organisms. So what are these living organisms? I'm mentioning living organisms, and in this case, I've talked about life. So it means a living organism are biological entities with life, that has life. Biological entities that has life. So any biological thing, anything that is biological and has life is called living organism. So they include, e.g., we have plants. So we know examples of plants. We have beans. We have maize. We have cypress. We have avocados. Those are plants. So plants, animals, human beings is one of the examples of animals. We have the kettles. So those are examples of animals. We have fungi. I'm going to mention the examples. We have bacteria, etc. So these are entities with life. I have just said that the branch of science that deals with the study of living organisms is what we call biology. And living organisms are biological entities that possesses life or that have life. Sorry, because I've used are to mean plural, so I'll say entities that have life. Entities that have life. And those entities include plants. We know the examples of plants. Animals. We know the examples of animals. Let us see the examples of fungi. Remember, this is just the introduction. And if you are not going to understand this, trust me, you will have a problem. So if you are not understanding, kindly comment down there that teacher, please repeat. Teacher, please, you can inbox me, ask me to explain you more. And that is how we learn. So we learn when we move together. So you have to understand this particular introduction to biology. Examples of fungi. Now we know that mushrooms are also living things. They live. Mushrooms. So that is a fungi. That is a fungi. In science, in the study of science, those scientists doing research, mushrooms is called Basidiomycota. You learn this later. Basidiomycota. Basidio. So there is O here. Basidiomycota. This one is a scientific name, or rather the fungal name of mushroom, for those who will study more about fungi. A topic called mycology. Mycology, the study of fungi. Mycology. So you learn more about Basidiomycota as an example of mushroom. That mushroom that you eat, the mushroom that is used to make some good products that is sold in the market and you eat it, that mushroom is called Basidiomycota in mycology. And then there is another one called yeast. Yeast. So those are some of the examples of fungi. We have rhizopus as the yeast. So those are some of the examples of fungi that you'll meet. There are others called zygomycota. So you learn more about fungi later on in your study. That is mycology. Let us see examples of bacteria. So remember, all these have life. We don't have bacteria, so we only have bacteria. So examples of bacteria. Number one, the most common one that we find it everywhere, Streptococcus bacteria. This bacteria is found Staphylococcus. I mean, this is a bacteria that is found everywhere. Staphylococcus. Staph. This is everywhere. Leave alone strepto, Staphylococcus. Anywhere you can find it. Anywhere. Very common bacteria. Another one, Helicobacter. Helicobacter pylori. Or H. pylori. This particular kind of bacteria is very common. Very, very common. Very, very common. And it usually affects the intestinal walls. This is a very common bacteria. Number 4, we can talk about Salmonella. Salmonella. And remember, Salmonella typhi causes what? Typhoid. So we are going to learn about these particular biological entities as we move on. What are we going to learn? Plants. We're going to study more about plants, how plants are able to reproduce, how they are able to photosynthesize, make us food. Of course, we enjoy the foods from the plant, so we have to appreciate the plants. Animals, how they also plant animals give us food. How do they interact within their environment? What are the modes of adaptation that they use in order for them to survive in a particular ecosystem, a particular environment? Fungi, how are they helpful to us? In industries, we use them. How are they important to us? There are others that are for biogas. They give us energy. Bacteria, there are those helpful bacteria and there are those that are not beneficial. Remember, there are those beneficial bacteria and there are those that are not beneficial. We have almost 47 bacteria that has been discovered, and scientists are continuously discovering new bacteria. So this bacteria by the name Salmonella causes typhoid, and remember that Helicobacter is another bacteria that is very common, and usually it causes peptic ulcers. So that means that this bacteria attacks the walls of the stomach, and sometimes when the damage is too much, it can cause peptic ulcers. So these bacteria, some of them are very dangerous. Some of them are very, very dangerous. So get to know the examples of bacteria. We have very many. We have others like Escherichia coli or E. coli. So this is another one. We have others, very many. We have Shigella as a bacteria. Shigella. Very many bacteria. We have Bacillus. So there are so many. So as time goes by, remember, we are going to interact with these biological entities. They are very, very helpful, because I want to be a microbiologist. You will be discussing most of these bacteria. So you have to know their mode of reproduction. Are they able to reproduce? How do they feed? And then look at, in terms of disease, what are the diseases they cause and what are their benefits? So remember, in your body you have a lot of bacteria. Your body also needs bacteria for survival. Sometimes you meet a person and the smell around that particular person looks like it is not interesting to you. Don't blame that particular person. Those are sometimes bacteria, the dead ones. So that is it. So we have learned about the biological entities, and we have known that biology is a branch of science. That is something that we have to talk about, no doubt about it. It is a branch of science, and it deals with the study of living organisms. It deals with this study of living organisms. And living organisms are just biological entities that possesses life. And they include animals, plants, bacteria, fungi. Have given you the examples of fungi. Have given you the examples of bacteria. So keep tuned. Enjoy this class as we learn more. This is the introduction. So I want us to move to the importance of biology in life. Importance of biology in life. Importance of biology